Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So on a previous video, I did my first YouTube live stream using my Sony A7 IV as my main camera. And in this case, I thought things were going to be really easy because the Sony A7 IV does give you a number of options. So if you use your USB-C port or the micro USB port, you can use it to actually stream or have the output of your camera go over to your computer, so you can use a recording software like OBS to record from your camera as basically a video recording or as a live stream. But the Sony A7 IV also thankfully comes with a full-size HDMI. So in this case, I thought it would be a simple thing because at least on my Panasonic G85, I just simply use the micro HDMI and things work just fine. But whenever I tried this on my Sony A7 IV, it did not work. And all I got were just these color bars in OBS. And so I really couldn't figure out what the issue was. And obviously it doesn't work like my Panasonic G85. So because of that, I decided to use the USB-C port from the Sony A7 IV. And this was something that really bothered me because obviously I want to use the HDMI output. Well, to be honest with you, I accidentally found the solution after spending some time going through the very often convoluted and sometimes really complex menu of the Sony A7 IV, even though it is better than it was before. So that's how I was able to do this right now. So this is really not intuitive and it's not straightforward. I just accidentally discovered this just by playing around with the settings. So right now, as you can see, I am recording my entire screen from my camera, so it fills the whole screen. But let me change this to where you can actually see it like I'm seeing it from my LCD screen. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my menu, and we're going to go ahead and turn the HDMI info on. And now what you notice is there is my camera settings, okay? Plus, if I actually go back, now it's just like this is my LCD screen now. The only problem is with the Sony A7 IV, whenever you are outputting this, you can't have both the LCD screen and whatever output that you have on at the same time, at least as far as I know, unlike my Panasonic G85 where I could have both the LCD and wherever it's outputting, whether it's going to be on my computer or whether you're using another screen like an Atmos Ninja. And so that's kind of a pain. But as you can see, I have all my display info on there, so you can see everything that's going on from my camera. So as you can see there, so everything that I would normally do on my LCD screen, you can see here. So let me show you how I accidentally found this solution. And so we'll go here to menu, and here you see that I'm under setup. So if you go to your menus here, it's pretty much at the bottom, okay? So here's setup, and then when you go here, go down to the bottom and you see an option for external output. So originally when I saw this, things were on auto, okay? So this is what really confused me. And honestly, I really don't know why Sony set it up this way because it's super confusing. So if you look on here, the first one, there's HDMI resolution. And you click on it, there's auto, there's 4K, 1080p, and then 1080i, okay? But the thing is, there's also another one. There's HDMI output settings, and here you can record the media from the HDMI output, and also there's an output resolution option which was also set as auto, and here's some time code output, and there's also a 4-channel output as well. So here's the problem. If you look at here really closely, there's different images, a logo on the left. So this one looks like a camera and this looks like video. So this is something that's really important because if you have a Sony A7 IV, you can choose to use just the camera mode, the video mode, and then there's S and Q. So this is where things get really confusing because whenever I have this on auto on the photo mode or the camera mode, whenever I change my dial to it, I was able to see my recording. I was like, wow, that's really weird. But whenever I go to my video mode, well, things change. So I'm going to show you what happens whenever that occurs. So this is what I saw previously. So you might not see anything for a bit. You might just see like a color bar. So That's what happens whenever you set it to video mode. So how do you fix this? Well, let me go ahead and change things and I'll show you how that was done. So I'm going to go into my menus and we're going to change one thing. For professional virtual business locations, check out Anytime Mailbox with more than 1,300 locations worldwide at affordable rates. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below. Okay, so you can probably see my screen right now, okay? So this is what happened. So confusing. So in order for you to have the HDMI output to work, at least for me, whenever you're using the video dial, video mode on your Sony A7 IV, you're gonna go here and under output resolution, you have to choose the resolution. So whenever I had it on auto, things didn't work for whatever reason. But whenever I set it to 1080p, 1080i, or even 4K, even though my video capture doesn't support 4K, it still works. So I think it's like pass through or something. So let me show you. So right now, as you can see, I'm recording, but now I'm using my video mode and things work. They work just like they do on my camera mode, but obviously this has all my video specific features, which is what I really want whenever I'm recording video. So as you can see, everything here works. And let me switch it over to 4K so you can kind of see how that looks like. So we'll go here and then we'll go to 4K right there. See, so now you should see it. It works. So odd. I have no idea. And whenever I have set as 4K, there are some things that aren't quite working, or maybe because the resolution is higher than my profile. Right now, the profile on my OBS setting for this is 1080p. So that's probably why it's like cropped in and some of the information, obviously you probably can't see, but let me go ahead and change this to back to 1080p so you can see all the information. All right, so we'll go back here. So yeah, there it is. You can see it right here. So weird. I do not understand why Sony did it this way, but as you can tell, things do work, and it all has to do with the resolution that you choose. And what's weird is whenever you have it in just photo or camera mode, you could leave it at auto and it works, at least through OBS. But for video mode, you have to specifically choose the resolution and not leave it at auto. So whether that's 4K, which is 2160 at 1080p, or 1080i, any one of those resolutions, it'll show up. But at least for me, for the profiles that I have set up on OBS, I am using 1080p for this particular recording. And so if you have the 4K, then obviously you could use that. But yeah, it's really weird. And it's something that was really not straightforward at all. And the other settings that's on there, let me show you some of the other settings, because I already went through these settings right here, and the HDMI info display, and then control for HDMI. I'm not sure what that is. It might be another feature with another device, so I'm not really sure, but everything else, that's how things work. And I'm so happy that I finally figured it out, because this was a huge pain, and I was pretty much very angry that it didn't work. Okay, but obviously it does. You just kind of have to, play around with things. As with most things in the Sony menu, it's not straightforward. Even though a lot of people who have used other Sony mirrorless cameras say this menu is a lot better. Well, it's only better if you haven't used something that's better than that one. Okay, so the Panasonic menu is way better, straightforward, and that's just kind of like a little rant on there. But that is how you would actually get the HDMI output to work from your Sony A7 IV. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, or any other ways in which you get this to work, or maybe you had more knowledge on all the features of the HDMI output, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my camera tutorials, tips, reviews, I'll leave that in the description area as well. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you're a creative geek like me, and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Go Content Creators group.